I'm not even gonna bother singing at the end here, because someone did make a comment to be careful that YouTube might flag me for humming or doing tunes or anything like that. And to be fair, I haven't had problems yet, fingers crossed. But Spectre is the most recent of Bonds to come out, obviously because No Time to Die hasn't come out yet. Spectre came out in 2015, 3 years after the events of Skyfall, and yeah, I mean, it still hasn't. You feel like this could have been the closeout to Daniel Craig's Bond, but there was, I think, enough backlash from this movie. Plus, I think he still had one more left on his contract. I think he wanted to do one more to kind of close himself out on this one. That he wanted to. He wanted to do one more after it, but if you were to say this was the last one, you'd believe it. He drives off into the sunset with his girlfriend, and everyone's happily ever after. I find a lot of people don't like this one as much. Like, a lot of people find it boring. Things don't add up. Like, they don't think Christoph Waltz is effective blow. All that. I will say this: upon rewatching it, it does lack something, say, that Casino Royale and Skyfall lacked. It does lack a little something. Like, it lacks that heart, I guess you could say. It feels a little empty. But at the same time, I don't quite get... you can see the reflection of the screen in my glasses just scanning. Why don't I take the glasses off? I mean, I know where to look. So, it's still, I think, a pretty solid Bond movie, Margot. Like, is Daniel Craig a little lackluster in the film? Sure, but he's always a little lackluster as this character because that's how the character's portrayed. But I'll admit, he does seem a little tired as a character. And he did say after filming this film that he didn't not want to do it. He'd rather, like, jump off a cliff or something like that. But he just got done shooting. And, like, he'd been away from his family for a good while. Like, he wanted some time to relax. Hence why he decided to come back for one more film. And good for him. I mean, absolutely. But he still gets a lot of good little one-liners in there. Absolutely, he does. He's not without some some moments, particularly that one scene where he kicks the guy's asses. They get up and he goes, "No, stay." Like, there is some humor to be there. The opening scene of Spectre 2 is quite enjoyable. In fact, it's actually a really good action sequence. The scene, they have it's kind of a Day of the Dead festival. The skeleton mask, the action sequence, some bits of humor where he lands on the couch, get a helicopter scene. It's a really good action sequence, and it leads into what I say is actually a pretty solid Bond song. That's where I think a lot of other people kind of raise their issues with, is that they don't like Sam Smith's writing on the wall. And is it one of the best Bond songs? I'd have to re-look at my list, but if I remember correctly, no, I didn't think it was one of the best, but I also didn't think it was bad by any stretch of me. I do like it. It feels like a Bond song, first off, unlike something like For Your Eyes Only or Living Daylights, which feels more just like a song that artist was doing that just got put in front of a Bond movie. This still feels like a Bond movie because it has that same balance of feels like a Bond song, I should say. Still has that balance of climbing to the epicness, the crescendo. If I risk it all, would you break my fall? And then I think where people kind of draw the line with his voice is that really high pitch. Oh, how can I breathe when you're not here? I'm suffocating. It's like, I can't even hit that note. Like, one of the questions I'll answer in the Q&A, because I'm going to ask, what's the highest note I can hit? I actually don't know the highest note I can hit. I'm not in my peak anymore. Like, I'll never be at my peak performance in terms of singing like I used to be when I was younger. I can still hit a pretty high note, but like what he's doing, there's some auto-tune in that, let's be honest. So to be able to do that naturally is a different thing than to just have like a, equipment that adjusts it. As the movie, though, as the movie, it is a little there's great scenes in the movie. His confrontation with Mr. White, and that final confrontation, is a really good scene. It's a really good scene. Like I said, the action sequence when he's being chased by Mr. Hinks and Spectre, that's a good scene. The fight on the train, it's a pretty good fight. We get our first legitimate Bond henchman in the Daniel Craig movies who can't overcome. And Dave Bautista's Mr. Hinks is a pretty solid villain in that sense. But at the same time, I do think he goes out a little anticlimactic. The big things I think we should address, like the action sequences are still good. Like Daniel Craig, well, it does seem a little tired at this point, is still good in the film. Ralph Fiennes is good. Is it Ben Whishaw? Is that the Ben Whishaw? Q, he's fun. Naomi Harris's Moneypenny is good. Like the acting's good. Even like Christoph Waltz's Blofeld, he's a good actor. He's playing it well. It's just, well, you know what? Let's actually get into that because I think there's two big things. And I may say like one of the things people get upset about is the song, but there's two big things I hear a lot of people criticize. And there's what's the name of the YouTuber? Hold on. There is a Calvin Dyson. Is that his name? Shout out to him, by the way. Because I want to give the proper shout out to the right. Yeah, no, that's Caleb Hines. Oh, great singer. Watch his stuff. Listen to his stuff. He's great. Where is he? I think it's Calvin Dyson is the name of the YouTuber who's a great, and he's specifically a Bond YouTuber. And he's great. I love watching his stuff. Absolutely. Where is he? Calvin Dyson. That's his name. I recommend checking out his channel. That's Calvin, Calvin, Dyson, Dyson. Like, I think he's a really good YouTuber, really great Bond YouTuber. But when he mentions about the film, there are two things he brings up, and it's Blofeld and actress's name. 1 second. Madeline, played by Léa Seydoux, who is basically Mr. White's daughter and the love interest of Bond. Allegedly, maybe like his true great love. Though I would quite frankly say Eva Green's Vest Berlin might have been his true great love. Either way. And these seem to be like the two big issues with the film, that Blofeld isn't done right, and that can you buy Bond being involved with this woman? Let's address that second one first. The character of Madeline and like Léa Seydoux, I've seen her. I think in some other things. I'm getting actually her IMDb up right now. She was in Blue is the Warmest Color. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. What else have I know I've seen her in something else. It's Only the End of the World. Nope. Spectre, Lobster. She was in Lobster. Oh, Mercy, The Command, Zoe. She's actually got quite a few films. She's going to bet again in No Time to Die. Where have I seen her before? Blue's the Warmest Color. Maybe that's where I've seen her before. And I just didn't know it was her. Oh, she's in Glorious Bastards. Charlotte Le Petit. Okay. Who was that in Glorious Bastards? She's not Shoshana. I do not remember who this character was, but she was in Glorious Bastards. Maybe that's where I recognize her, because I remember when I saw the film, like, I recognize her from somewhere. I just can't remember where. And I will say this: she's not terrible. Like, I could see she's very attractive, and they have a similar sort of past. She being the daughter of the assassin, he being an assassin. The loneliness that comes from both those professions and lives. I in theory could see where he could be attracted to her. Certainly, she's definitely beautiful enough to catch his interest. But I will admit now maybe we're clearly going to get a lot more with her in No Time to Die. So that's clearly going to expand the character for us. But if we're just going by Spectre, I would be lying if I said she leaves a bit to be desired as a character. There just isn't that much with her, apart from that she was Mr. White's daughter, that she was being kidnapped, and now she's with Bond, and she ultimately develops an attraction to Bond. That's great and all. Don't get a lot with it. Now, there is that good scene we get. It's a good scene where he's like, I need you to, and it's like, this is important, and he's trying to show her how to use a weapon. Turns out I don't need to teach you anything, do I? I guess we can skip hand-to-hand combat. Like, that does give us something about the character. But apart from that, she doesn't really bring much in terms of a character. So I can see where people definitely find her just kind of boring. For me, I never found her boring, but I didn't find her all that interesting. She toes the line for me. And then we got to address the other big issue I think a lot of people bring to this is Christoph Waltz's Blofeld. Now, Christoph Waltz is one of the great actors of our time. 2-time Academy Award winner, not nominee, winner. Back-to-back with Quentin Tarantino. Who would have known? And I actually liked him more in Django Unchained than I did in Inglourious Basterds, and I love him in Inglourious Basterds. I think it's because we're supposed to root for him in Django Unchained. Both films, by the way, I own, obviously. But you think, this guy as Blofeld, this works perfectly. And all the acting is doing is fine. He's very subtle, very creepy, menacing. It's fine. He's not doing anything wrong as a performer because it's Christoph Waltz. I doubt he could. But as Blofeld, we know. I think it's kind of the whole Star Trek Khan issue, Into Darkness Khan issue, where they give him a different name, Franz Obenhauser. It's like, he died. My name is, I can't remember Blofeld's actual first name. Blofeld. Blofeld, my mother's name. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you have to give him a past history with Bond. Why? I get it that this is an ongoing story with the Bond character in this particular franchise. But to make that connection with Blofeld that intimate and not really pay off with it, that's the thing I think is the biggest problem. Giving him a connection early on I don't think is the problem. You could have made that work. But the fact is there's really no big payoff. If you didn't tell me and you cut out the few lines where they were brothers, not like biological, they are adopted brothers. You cut that out. The performance still works the same. In fact, it works better because there's no disappointment on the payoff when it comes to them being brothers. There's no payoff with them being brothers. That's the thing that I find the most interesting here is that there's no payoff with that. And while I still like him in the role, well, again, we're going to see him in Spectre. We are going to see him again in Spectre. We're going to see him in No Time to Die. Apparently, there's a line in one of the most recent trailers where it's like, your enemies, my enemies have become your enemies. So apparently, Blofeld, even though we're probably not going to get a lot of them, will have some sort of important role to be playing in this film. But, and he's got the shaved head now. Maybe he's not bald, but he's got a shaved head now. It's like, no, now he looks more like Blofeld. I think that was another problem, too, is that Bond is the one who gave him the scar. He wasn't just the scarred, guy with the cat like he was. I don't know. To me, yeah, I love Christoph Waltz. He's doing the best he can in the film. But I'd be lying if I said it worked 100%. Overall, the Spectre, upon looking back to it, is still, I think, a really good film. Is it the best Bond film? Oh, not by a wide margin. I can think of at least 5 different Bond films that are better than it off the top of my head. In fact, let me go about that right now. Goldfinger, Casino Royale, Skyfall. 2 of them are Daniel Craig films. Spy Who Loved Me. I think GoldenEye. I think World Is Not Enough. I can think of Man with the Golden Gun. Well, no, I think this is better than Man with a Golden Gun. Thunderball. I got anything else that I can rattle off right there? I can think of a minimum 7 films that are better than this film. But that doesn't mean it's on the bottom of my heap either. I can think this is better than a lot of other Bond films. Now, to be fair, that's because it's a different style of filmmaking. So, like this versus Moonraker, obviously this is better. It's just a better film. It's not as stupid. Bond's not going into space, but there is some charm to that camp in Moonraker. So pick your poison. Until then, though, that is my thoughts on Spectre. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win. Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything to do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well, because that's at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks later.